Hi guys, DK here from KaroroCAM. Today I'm going to be taking you through part 3 of this multi-part video series on how to go about shaping a kite surfboard using KaroroCAM tools in Rhino. Today we're looking at the second piece of tooling required for this process, and that is this indexing mold. So when we come to machine the board out of this block of XPS foam, we need to be able to flip that 180 degrees and actually know when we flip it over where we are in relation to all of the features that we machined into the first side of the board. So the actual blank, if we have a look here, is 600 millimeters wide, 2 meters long, and 80 millimeters high. And we're going to create this indexing mold out of 16 millimeter MDF, and we're just going to add these two sides to the 16 mm MDF. So these I'm not going to CNC cut because I'm going to have access to quite a substantial woodworking workshop when we come to do this job, so these can just be cut on a table saw. But I do need to cut these recesses so I know where, or cut the recesses which these will sit into, so we know where we're going to be when it's relative to the zero position of the actual machine. What I've done to allow for clearance of the tool bit, but actually still have good good indexing to these pieces, is I've allowed 0.5 millimeter of clearance each side of these slots and 0.5 millimeter on the ends, and I've just added these half rounds so that our tool bit, which is a little bit bigger than our tool bit, just so that our tool bit can get in here and clear out those corners without us having to come back and say chisel those out. So I can, at this stage, I can hide these two upright parts, and if we go to shaded view, this is the item that we need the CNC machine to make. Now I've set this up. If we look in here, X, Y, and Z minimum and Z max. So this point here is 0 in Rhino space. So that's and this is, we will machine this relative to the home position of the CNC machine. So what I need to do to actually cut these recesses is I need some curves to follow, and so we're going to go to curve, from object, duplicate face border, and actually select these two bottom faces. And if we look here, these are actually 5 millimeters deep, so these uprights will cut 85 millimeters high to drop into here so that we're flush. Now I can, at this stage, I can simply turn off that indexing, and I'm going to start KaroroCAM, and it'll just take a minute or two to launch. Now, if these were bigger recesses, I might be tempted to do a pocketing operation, but I believe I can do these simply as a 2D profile cutting operation. So our original piece here, I've actually based this on a 1200 by 2400 piece of MDF. And if we go to our machine setup, that's actually what the size that we've got set up in here. So that's no need to change that. We can, on the machine, cut at 5,000 millimeters a minute. Our stock thickness is actually going to be 16 millimeters. Our Z position is stock top, and everything else on there is fine. Under Toolpath, we can use 0.01. Climb cutting is fine. A flat end mill, I'm going to use a 12.7. We don't have a tool changer, so we can leave that index tool number to 1. Spindle speed at 24,000. No stock to leave. The cutting depth position, we're actually going to be to the selected curves because they were at the bottom of the depth that we want to cut. So that'll give us our 5mm. We can use multiple depths, and let's go down in steps of 2mm, simply because I'm worried about the tool bit being sort of jammed in here if we are cutting too deep. So 2mm is fine. We can auto cut by Z depth, and we can use some ramping on this. Now, these cuts, we're wanting to cut to the inside of these. So if we now grab these and move them to inside curves, you can have a look here. We've now created a toolpath that actually cuts to the inside of that line. And from here, we could actually go, if we go to preview, I'm going to pause that, slow that down and restart. Speed it up a little bit. And we can watch the preview of this machining taking place. So that's -2 to start. And we can speed that up a little bit. That's all looking really good. Let's see it go. Slow this right down. No, let that just let that run. But I think that is looking great, and we're only 7 minutes of machining just to get this little job done. But it'll mean that we have these 2 slots, and therefore the 2 vertical pieces that we're going to glue into there will be at a known position from the 0 of the machine, and that'll be vitally important for when we come to flip it over. So let's go. Let's pause that. We'll go back to our toolpath. We're happy with that, so we can simply post-process. We're on a rich auto machine, and we're going to save the G-code to our desktop, and it has picked up the name of this this file with the 2dprofile.cnc on the end of it. We can save that, and if I open Notepad++ here, and we can now open that file. We can see we have what appears to be quite valid G-code in that file. Alright guys, there we have it. That's the second part in this series of how to go about shaping a kite surfboard using KaroroCAM, and it's the second piece of tooling that we've needed to machine, which is this indexing table on the bed of the CNC machine. If you have any questions about this process or how to use KaroroCAM for your own project, feel free to leave a comment below this video, or you can email us on karorocam@gmail.com. Thanks very much.